The following podcast has been brought to you by Banter Club.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Banter Club proudly brings to you it is I, one half of the longest reigning Ramblemania tag team champions of the world, the Angel of Death 6XL. Joining me today,
I am your former 9-time Ramblemania heavyweight champion, Hazel, D.I. Zombie. And just like this man said, this is the Banter Club. We could basically call it like a secret smoking society, like hidden gem episode, along with Ramblemania Bridge.
Hell yeah.
But we, of course, talk about the good and the bad and who booked this shit and what took place here on AEW Dynamite on the Hose Network.
The hose. I've got hose.
Yes, we somehow got some hoes, but we don't have them here because TJ the Great took all the hoes in the greatest area code of all time. Peace up, A-Town down.
My man's took all the hoes down the Highlander.
Yep, he took all the hoes. He's enjoying his chicken and beer, disturbing the peace, all over the ATL.
I want a beer.
But no, TJ the Great will be back next week. He has to, he's on a family vacation, and hopefully he's having fun over there down south on the ATL. But I'll be taking his place. I'm not an expert in the journalism realm like he is because he has a degree on that shit, but I haven't done this in a minute. So before we get on to what took place on AEW,
if it helps, Hazel, I'm not a journalist either.
I know, but you ruined the moment.
Sorry, go ahead.
Before we get on to what took place on the AEW Dynamite, we're going to talk about all the news that took place this week in the professional wrestling world. First off, we will start off with... Oh, here we go. Let's start off with this. Let me send you this right now because this is something that will probably catch your undivided attention. So you have been hearing about all the stuff with Sasha Banks and Naomi doing some extracurricular activities with some WWE talent and whatnot. They spotted Sasha with Bayley and Titus O'Neil and a couple of their friends at a New York Yankee game. But biggest news of them all is Team Bad was actually doing a catwalk on the New York Fashion Week.
Oh, I actually seen this.
You seen this, right?
Yeah. So, damn, your Naomi look fine. Like, I be talking about Sasha Banks because I love me some Sasha Banks. Bruh. I'm not trying to get in trouble with the ooze, you know what I'm saying? But beautiful young lady. Let's just keep it at that.
So Naomi, Trinity Fatu and Sasha Banks, Mercedes Varnado took part in the New York Fashion Week. And, there's several video clips of them, walking the catwalk, So basically they, while they're on the midst of making their triumphant return, Sasha Banks for like the 5th time, Naomi for like, the first time since walking out of the company. They're doing some extracurricular stuff outside of the company. Sasha Banks has some clout, with the Mandalorian and all that shit. And
her
I'm
family.
guessing she's bringing her tag team partner along for the ride. And, Trinity Fatu over here looking, oh, shit, she's too sexy for this fucking catwalk, my nigga.
Yeah.
I mean, Sasha, on the other hand, I'm like, what the fuck are you wearing? But Naomi is just like, oh, yeah, now I know what Naomi looked like without any pants. She looking hard, damn.
She looking good. She looking mighty fine.
I mean, like, I saw some video clips of her and of Sasha and Bayley at a New York Yankee game. I'm guessing they caught a foul ball or something. because they showed footage of them having the ball, having the baseball in their hand, and I'm not gonna say it's weird because under the midst of Paul Levesque now, since I can't even call that man Triple H, I have to call that man by his real name since he's now the true Howard Power of WWE.
He's running. Call him Daddy H.
Nah, I'm gonna call that man Paul. I gotta call that man. He's a professional now, so I have to call him by his actual government name.
He is such a bro.
Man, no, I mean, yeah, he's a bro.
He's such a bro.
I mean, you can think of all that, but
Daddy H.
I mean, do you see the possibility? And this is just I'm hoping this is probably going to be the case. But do you see the possibility of Sasha and Naomi making their return to WWE? Because now I just found out that I don't know if they were put on the alumni list on the main roster, but they were put back.
I mean, I can see them coming back. I mean, I don't see why not. If their problem was creative with Vince McMahon, they've changed creative to somebody who actually worked well with them in the NXT years and in certain spots here and there where Vince would let him. So, I feel like it's a big possibility that they can come back. I'd love to see them back. I love the shit out of Naomi. She's one of those female wrestlers who can fucking do anything, bro. As they make her out to be in the Royal Rumble, she seems to be somebody who's how do you say, kind of Kofi-ish, where she's like an acrobat. She can do damn near anything. Like another female who's like that is Casey Catanzaro. But
I thought you were gonna say like je ne sais quoi type shit.
Je ne sais quoi. She has a capability. There's a certain je ne sais quoi.
Like when she moves like it's feng shui. That's something that the fucking Max Dupree and the Maximum Male Models will be saying right now.
Oh God! Every time I watch those segments, I'm just like. Oh God. I mean, it's better than what they were doing, which was nothing. But you know what I'm saying? It's just a little like
I mean, either way, if they walked out, well, I know Sasha Banks, if she walked out of the company for the 10th time, that woman has something planned outside of WWE. She got Snoop, she got the Mandalorian, she could offer people, she could charge people $30K just for a meet and greet and shit. And it's like, apparently, and I argue with this shit with TJ. I'm like, yo, there ain't no way you're gonna make that money back with, but apparently it's Sasha Banks, and when it's Mandalorian money, when it's Disney money, oh yeah, you're definitely making that money back no matter what. Yeah. Naomi, on the other hand, now that I've been finding out that she's still doing stuff with Sasha outside of WWE, it's like, she good. She fucking good. I'm like, and I don't know. I mean, I think this. Like, Naomi's known for, doing other things outside of, WWE, besides being like a former dancer. She used to do R&B stuff also. And you've seen the clips on Total Divas. Yeah. Like, I'm surprised he hasn't really like gone back to that. Like, some guys would,
do like on Total Divas. I saw it on YouTube.
No, I know you saw the video, but they showed like clips. They showed like behind the scenes stuff. I saw the behind the scenes stuff. But I'm glad that they're doing what they can right now outside the business. And like, we're both of us, honestly, we're both glad that that they can actually branch out and doing the Fashion Week in New York. Holy shit.
Yeah. Shit. Like I said,
maybe Naomi
love to see them back. I love to see
maybe
them back.
Naomi needs some new gear.
Her gear be fired. But she could do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say too much when it comes to her. Leave it. I gotta respect the Oos.
Yeah, let's not send ourselves to horny Joe. Just
not yet. We just started.
Knowing you, I mean, look, people, this is the first time in like God knows how long that me and Six have actually done an episode together. Yeah. So knowing this man, if he's gonna go to horny Joe, he's taking me to horny Joe with him. Yep. What? So I'm in it for the long haul. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Bobby Fish, on his podcast, Backstage Comments, Issues with Punk, says Punk is not a real MMA fighter. Bobby Fish has been putting out a podcast ever since, he, requested his release from All Elite Wrestling. And I'm guessing, he has a lot of words to say about CM Punk. This is from WrestlingNews.co. And Bobby Fish was interviewed by NBC Sports Boston C4 about his AEW run and a possible return to WWE, CM Punk, and other topics. And Fish followed up with this. This is what he's had to say about CM Punk. Phil is not a bad wrestler, but what Phil is not is a martial artist. I've been doing the martial arts since I was 8 years old, so I take a lot of pride in it. It's something I'll do to the day I die. There are other people within pro wrestling, Bryan Danielson, Kyle O'Reilly, people that train so that they put that into their pro wrestling. Why do you do that? You do that because pro wrestling is made up in such a way that we get to bring a little piece of ourselves and add it to what we do, because so much of the variables are controlled. So you can see CM Punk is not a martial artist. He went on pay-per-view twice, showed the world that he is not a martial artist. I'm guessing he's talking about the match with Eddie Kingston. And what was another match that he had that was sort of martial arts based? Matt Sydal, I think, or was it Lee Moriarty? I don't know.
That was on pay-per-view?
I'm
pay-per-view. I don't know. Anyway,
MJF? Whatever. Yeah. Probably Hangman. Probably Eddie Kingston and Hangman Page, which is quite possible. He's a pro wrestler, so go out, tackle, drop down, leapfrog, all that stuff. All good in that lane. Like, dare I say, he's got talent. But when it comes to martial arts, you're insulting the audience intelligence, because we're supposed to be creating an atmosphere where you can suspend your disbelief. It's honestly insulting for you as one of my coworkers or peers as a martial artist. You're asking me to go out and sell and put over bunk-ass martial arts, which it's insulting to the audience and it's insulting to me. At the same time, I'm working for AEW. They're the ones paying my check. You asked me to go out there, put my shoulders down for Phil Brooks. I go out and I do it. Interestingly enough, there was a little bit of whatever in the match that he and I had. And then, Phil after the match was I'm not going to say the word. I'm not going to say that C word because hell no. Frankly, as a martial artist, I went out there.
CM Punk was the C word, basically.
Yes. Let's just call him a prick. All right. Because I can't say that word.
Well, we're men. We have a prick. It's fine.
You should be grateful that I did, because on national television, if I decided that I wanted to fucking haku your ass, I could have, because you're that little bit of a threat in my world.
Damn.
Not that John Jones or the Spider Anderson Silva, but like, I've been doing martial arts since I was young. I can handle myself enough to where I will fold you like a wet napkin, or I could stretch you like a pretzel. Phil Brooks, since you want to be a prick afterwards because they brought up the C word again. I don't know why he's saying this shit on his fucking podcast or on
it is what it is, man. Just go with it.
Afterwards, because of a mistake that you made, it doesn't wear well. Not to mention the move that he finished me with. It's not even his finish. It's Kenta's. Phil, you took a man's finishing move, which anybody who knows pro wrestling knows, like, that's kind of fucked up. And you weren't even decent enough to change the name. So yeah, I mean, it goes back. It wasn't a challenge. It was an invitation, like, Phil, if you want to throw hands with the Bucks, who are on a short list of people that are my friends when it comes to this business, I'm happy to oblige. I wasn't there, so I don't know what exactly went on. But, like, if you're feeling froggy, man, Come on, let's jump together. So basically, he's been like throughout his podcast, he's been asking CM Punk to fight him like judo, karate, MMA, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, all
Antagonizing
that.
a man.
Like shoot fighting him on the podcast.
Yeah,
like we
he's
can fight in
antagonizing
Chicago.
him.
Like we could fight in Chicago, All Out. We could fight anywhere.
Mhm.
Just name the time and place. And he's just been egging him on because
Yeah.
I know this had nothing to take place with the match that they had at October of 2021, but I'm guessing this is because of all the frustrations that Punk's been airing out and everything that took place.
This is what I have to say to that. I mean, we can't discount the work that Punk has put in to try to start something new. I can say, you can say that he's not a good MMA fighter, but he is an MMA fighter. Martial artist, like somebody who studied the craft for years. I understand that, but like at the end of the day, like he put in some work. You feel me? He actually tried to do this shit. You feel me? Like he actually went out there. He had a few fights. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't very good, but he actually tried. You feel me? So I'm not going to like discount that he didn't put in work. And it's like, why are you antagonizing the dude, bro? Like, it's like it's 10 of y'all motherfuckers. You feel me? At this point, like if y'all was smart enough, y'all would have just picked one motherfucker to go fight him. But you got to leave that man alone. Like I really don't get how that.
But
again,
Six,
I wasn't there either. So
Six, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a shoot question. I know this is not kayfabe, but I'm gonna ask you a shoot question. Yeah. Okay. Outside of this business, who would win in a shoot fight between CM Punk and Bobby Fish?
Bobby Fish, hands down.
Exactly. So, I mean, I know. No, look, you have.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying.
To defend Punk.
Is it right to do that? You feel me? Is it right to like antagonize somebody like that? You feel me?
I mean, honestly, if you're gonna talk all this shit when you just started a fucking podcast, bro. When you just started a podcast, at this point, I think you're doing the podcast just to antagonize Punk. Because I'm not gonna say that's how everyone. I don't know if everyone has ever listened to Bobby Fish's podcast. I don't even know the name of the podcast, and I haven't even heard it. I read news articles and I get all my research and all that shit, and I find out what the fuck it is that's on Bobby Fish's crawl. See what I did there? Yeah. So
crawfish. Get it.
So I mean, I have a lot of respect for Bobby Fish.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I got to meet Bobby Fish when I used to go to Ring of Honor shows, but I didn't. But he is an amazing martial art. Like, he's one of those guys that, like, I could see do wrestling, but I could see outside of wrestling winning martial arts competitions. Like, he could be the next Chuck Norris. They could put him on Texas.
You want to know why he's not doing all that shit?
They could put him on Texas Walker Ranger.
You know why he's not doing all that shit?
Because he's old.
Because he's extremely injury prone.
Yeah,
extremely. This motherfucker gets injured from a breeze. Like it's crazy how many times he's gotten injured.
I mean, can we say that with the rest of Undisputed Era, Undisputed Elite? Because everyone there says they've all injured.
The motherfuckers live on the injury list.
My nigga, you could say hi to Adam Cole. He gets injured. Yeah. I could fart 6 feet away from Kyle O'Reilly. He gets injured.
Something's hurt.
Bobby, like,
I feel bad.
Bobby Fish could be by himself in the bathroom taking his shit, and he tore his quad while pulling a strong one.
Bobby Fish gets injured the way fucking, I was gonna say Tommy Dreamer, but this generation might not get it.
No, you got to say Kennedy or Sin Cara in AEW.
Oh no, I was gonna say that motherfucker gets injured right as much as Tommy Dreamer, as easy as Tommy Dreamer bleeds. Fucking Tommy Dreamer used to bleed from fucking breathing, and now it's Mox. Now it's Mox over here.
Tommy Dreamer used to bleed when he spit out the Undertaker's chewing tobacco.
This motherfucker just bleeding all the time.
My God.
People forget about Tommy Dreamer, but I remember that motherfucker used to bleed like a stuffed pig.
Look, would you pay money if hypothetically, people, and Six and TJ, would you pay money? And I'm gonna say Twin and Ivy. Would you pay money hypothetically to watch a shoot fight between Bobby Fish and Phil CM Punk Brooks? And I'm talking about like, bare knuckle MMA.
I wouldn't, just because I know it'd be a dumb fight, bro.
Or you'll be like, stop it, he's already dead.
Either Bobby Fish kicks CM Punk's ass, or Bobby Fish injures himself, or both of them injure themselves. Like that. And then they're both fucked again. You feel me? Like, it's stupid. Like, no, I don't want to see that fight because they both gonna get injured. Like, fucking, did we not learn from fucking what's the name of this shit? The Brawl for All? Did we not learn anything from the Brawl for All? Like,
did we not learn from Raw Underground?
Oh god, that was fake shoot. You feel me? Talking about shoot.
The best belt machine, Bob Goff, Kenny Omega, the first ever AEW Trios Championship, who was just stripped from the belt 24 hours after winning it, has postponed his interview on the Swerve City podcast. Kenny Omega's appearance on the upcoming episode of Swerve City podcast has been postponed. Swerve announced it on social media Saturday that the podcast was delayed, citing unfortunate circumstances. Omega's appearance on the show was originally announced for the end of August 31st. Due to unfortunate circumstances, the interview with Kenny Omega has been postponed due to later. Swerve wrote, "Stay tuned for a rescheduled appearance for the future. Our next guest will be announced Monday at 12 p.m. Omega, along with the Young Bucks, were involved in a backstage altercation with CM Punk, Ace Steel, Monday morning, following the negative comments Punk made against them, Adam Page, Tony Khan, MJF, and fucking Colt Cabana. And the media scrum all out, which I had to fucking watch.
I watched that. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
I watched that. Hold on, let me finish this. All have been suspended from the company. Omega and the Young Bucks won the Trios Championships at All Out this Sunday, defeating Hangman Page in the Dark Order in a tournament final. However, Tony Khan vacated the titles with Death Triangle. Well, that's it. So yeah, that we're gonna find out Monday. I don't want to blurt out everything because hey, that's supposed to be talked about on the show.
Yeah, that's why I was like, hey, woo.
So yeah, that it's gonna get rescheduled. We'll get an official announcement for when Swerve is gonna have Kenny Omega on his podcast. So it'll be Monday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So stay tuned for that. Indeed,
it might end up being a while due to how long this investigation might go now.
Investigation? We don't even know how long the suspensions are.
Well, now there's an investigation.
Ay, no diablo.
Yeah,
this is.
There's an investigation because of the fact that they don't know. Well, Tony himself doesn't know exactly what happened, so he wants to hear from everybody involved, all parties. Is this
the same people that were investigating Vince McMahon on those NDAs and the paralegals?
Nah. He said he's getting a whole thing of like private investigators to check everything out, but they're gonna get apparently the people that are up are Pat Buck, Christopher Daniels. Of course,
Michael Nakazawa,
yep,
the Young Bucks, Brandon Cutler, Ace Steel, Punk, and Kenny Omega, and now only that Ace Steel's wife, who is the material witness to the whole thing.
Now they're adding MJF and somebody in a high position in the company. I forgot who, but there's somebody else that's also part of the. I guess you could say his little like crew of people that he's got working for him now.
Like, what's next? You're gonna investigate. You're gonna have CM Punk's dog on investigation. You're gonna have the dog whisperer ask him questions about what happened during that fight.
No, they're just trying to get everybody's point of view, because between all point of views will probably be the truth.
So let's get on with the ratings, shall we? We have 3 ratings here. We have Raw, we have NXT, and we have Dynamite. We're gonna do it by order. We're gonna start with Monday Night Raw. Despite it being, I gave it a 3.5 for what they tried to do here. The ratings are still very stellar. I'm not saying that they're going up, but ever since Triple H has been running things, I guess he really just likes the number 2 very much. 2.05 million viewers. Monday Night Raw drawing a 0.58 in the 18 to 49 demographic. This was basically the follow-up from Clash at the Castle. Well, it was competing with college football because football didn't start till Thursday. So it was competing with college football at the time, which drew a 4.86 rating with a 1.36 in the 18 to 49 demographic. I'm going to basically explain the hours to you from hour 1 from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. It started off the show at 2.9 million viewers. That's when we had the monster among men make his return. Did you see a clip? Did you see a clip of that shit?
Yeah, I saw him bust his ass.
Besides busting his ass, I was still pissed off that he buried all those tag team.
Yeah, he buried the entire tag team scene, which is kind of horrible. Why would you do that to your tag team scene? And then, did you watch SmackDown?
Nope. Why? Because I spent the whole day with Amanda just watching, Meet the Parents, Meet the Fuckers, and then I smoked so much weed to the point where I fell asleep at 12. So I didn't watch anything.
It was more of the same.
Hour 2 from 9 p.m. to 10, 1.12 million viewers. Holy shit! That's like the highest viewership so far. And then going into 10 p.m. going into 11 or 11:05, they still do that shit. 1.95 million viewers, ending the show with Dexter Loomis stroking Miz's hair and shit inside a steel cage.
Pause.
Hey, that's what he was doing, man.
I know. Pause.
I'm guessing that's how serial killers do. I mean, let me ask you honestly, since we haven't done this shit in a while. Since I know you watch tidbits of Raw and YouTube clips and shit here or there, and you look. I know you look at the viewership and you watch Wrestle Talk and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. What do you think about all the little tidbits and changes that Sir Paul Levesque has been doing since running Monday Night Raw? And he just got promoted also.
I think he's done mostly positive changes. I don't like that he buried his tag team division. There's a lot of, he's doing pretty good, But, there's a few things where I'm just like, bro, just for fuck's sake, get rid of it. And I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. 5,000 fucking camera cuts.
Yeah, we got to stop that shit.
Back and forth, up and down, left and right. It's like it never ends. And then you get, your eyes get tired. You get literally like, your eyes legit get fatigued.
Yeah.
I feel like, me personally, I like the darker, more toned down look of like Dynamite and Rampage. And the fact that they don't do those fucking zoom in and out camera cuts every 5 minutes. And I feel like if WWE gets it together and realizes, yo, we got way too many fucking lights and all these fucking zoom in and out camera cuts are not fucking helping. And then I feel like at that point, they tone down the visual a little bit. And all this fucking bullshit, get rid of that. Then I feel like they'll be at a even better place. Because I know creatively Triple H, he's gonna make the show as best as possible without fucking up, the original vision, and then trying to find a way to weave in and out of what he wants versus the storylines that are already in place.
I feel you on that. That I 100% agree with you on that. But I like, besides you doing on the rambling, you could have said it in a short term, like fire Kevin Dunn and make Raw 2 hours. Fire Kevin Dunn and make Raw 2 fucking hours. Like, just have Raw at 9 o'clock and just start it and just end it at 11:05, like the good old days.
I'd be cool with that.
The ratings for NXT have gone down though after their Worlds Collide event. It went down 684,000 viewerships, going up to a 1. This is a 1.2 percentage from last week's third best from Heatwave and New Year's Evil specials. They finished it with a 0.16 and an 18 to 49 demographic. That is 6.7% up from last week, just tied up for the third highest rated of the year in the category. I didn't really care for this week's NXT. It was boring. I just really wanted to talk about All Out with TJ.
I knew nothing about what happened on NXT.
They just had a lot of matches that were just subpar and all that stuff. But you know, I just want to fucking get this shit over with. We're gonna go on.
Seeing like little like clips here and there of NXT, but it's like it doesn't look good, man. It just doesn't. I don't know what they're doing over there, but I'm hoping the UK guys could actually, you know, bring some spice that shit up a bit, because at this point in time, at this point, it's like, you know, I'm you know, I don't mind doing the show Tuesdays, but I'm at the point where I'm about to give up and just make the show like a regular show for me and TJ to do every fucking Tuesdays when he shows up. Yeah, like it's a rough show.
Thanks a lot, Twin.
Yeah, Twin, that should have been. Yeah, that show was made for Twin. Twin was supposed to be the guy, but I guess it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
AEW Dynamite's ratings. The fallout from All Out. 1.035 million viewers on TBS, up 1.5% from last week's third straight week of the show's top 1 million viewerships. For the first time since it's happened in October of 2021. Dynamite finished second on the cable charts with a 0.38 on the 18 to 49 demo, up 8.6% from last week. It's Dynamite's best rating in that category since June 1st.
That's a little crazy. It's a little crazy that they've been down a little bit, but it's okay. You know, they're still top 5 on cable, so I'm pretty sure Discovery is going to be all right with it.
Well, yeah, Warner Media Discovery, I'm hoping they're all right with this rating. I mean, you know, after the fallout that took place, the media scrum, and after that, you know, when we talk
top 5 in cable, so
when we talk about the show, I think, you know, we'll probably describe to you how different they went, how fucking left they went on this show. Now that we're done with the fucking ratings, let's get on to the fucking meat and potatoes here. I've already gotten thoughts about it from other people. I've gotten thoughts from Dave from Pro Wrestling Podcast. I've gotten thoughts from TJ the Great. Now, Six, I need your fucking thoughts on this. The incident that happened right after Punk's media scrum. Oh my God. Cannibalism in professional wrestling. It's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. I need a drink. This is for Yoshi.
There you go.
An altercation that described as now in the Melee arena, because there was a bunch of Melee that took place here, broke out between the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, CM Punk, and Ace Steel after CM Punk's comments at the AEW media scrum Monday morning. And yes, it kind of was Monday morning. And in the Eastern Standard Time, it was Monday morning. It was still, I considered the next day 1 a.m. That's how I started. So this is what happened. All right. CM Punk went on the media scrum. He was the first person to open up the media scrum. I watched this shit live after the show, because normally when we do the fucking live streams for pay-per-views, once we're done, we're done. Once the show's done, we're done. Not everyone could do everything else. So I took the opportunity and I stood with everyone, even though it took 8.5 hours to do this shit. I stood and watched the goddamn media scrum, and my God, I did not expect this man to go off.
Yeah.
He started talking about Scott. He started
Mhm.
talking about Colt Cabana.
Mhm.
The fact, the lawsuits, everything. The fact, the one thing that shocked me the most, the fact that Punk literally brought out that he shares a bank account with his mother. He called the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega incompetent EVPs who couldn't even run a target.
He ain't wrong though.
That's your opinion, Six. That's your opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been telling you guys for a while that I haven't been telling you blankly that AEW has been going in the shitter, but there has been some problems with this company, and it was only a matter of time before someone was going to expose these problems. And I thought it was going to be I thought it would have been Eddie, but no.
Mhm.
Punk started talking shit about Hangman Page after that infamous promo that Hangman cut on Punk saying that he's going to defend AEW from him. He talked some stuff about MJF. And then the whole thing back to Cole about basically, he got Colt Cabana fired, which was not true. The Young Bucks basically saved Colt Cabana his job and put him in Ring of Honor. But some dirt sheet basically went out and said, the only reason why Colt Cabana went to ROH because Punk is in AEW and they have issues. And I'm like, that had nothing to do with it and all that other stuff.
Yeah, Punk himself said he didn't give a fuck where he worked.
After all this shit happened, with Punk saying all this stuff, airing out his entire frustrations, pissing off Bryan Alvarez for no fucking reason, and fucking Dave Meltzer, who was there, and Izzy was there, the Bailey fan.
He was fucking Dave Meltzer.
And he pissed off someone who was wearing a Pittsburgh Penguins hockey jersey because he's a Blackhawks fan.
Mm-hmm.
After that, him and Ace Steel go into the locker room. Apparently, this is what I went by, Six. This is what I read. A lot of people have different stories on this, but they all sound the same. And here's what the difference was. Apparently, the Young Bucks entered Punk's room. This is what I heard. They super kicked his fucking door. And
what?
Apparently, no. I'm not gonna say they super kicked the door. AKA in kayfabe, they kicked.
Yeah, they kicked in the door, waving the 4-4. You heard what's popping. Don't hear me no more.
Mind you, the only possible witnesses that were in Punk's locker room were not only Ace Steel, were CM Punk's dog Larry and Ace Steel's wife.
Yeah,
that's why I posted on the fucking on the stream that if Ace Steel's wife has video of this, either show us that shit or just talk about it because you're the only witness. You are clearly the only witness. So apparently everyone else that was suspended showed up. Punk, apparently this is what happened. I heard this is like Star Wars. Who shot first, Han or Greedo? Apparently Punk threw the first punch at Matt Jackson, punching him in the eye. Mm-hmm. A chair was thrown at Nick Jackson. Well, a chair was thrown at Nick Jackson, hitting him in the eye. And apparently he got knocked the fuck out.
Apparently from Ace Steel.
Yeah, by Ace Steel with the chair, and he was leaking on the back of the head. Kenny Omega was saving CM Punk's dog Larry from the altercation, being that he loves animals and fighting games and all that shit. And it was just him and Ace Steel. It was like round one. It was like like Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield '97. Except it was the second round, and this nigga just said, I'm gonna yoke your fucking hair, and I'm gonna bite the shit out of you, doing some Cannibal Holocaust shit like we in the fucking Walking Dead. That's why I'm just like, cannibalism in pro wrestling is fucking awesome. Fuck ECW, fuck CZW, and fuck Shayna Baszler trying to bite Becky Lynch in the neck. Ace Steel is a god. So yeah, all of that shit happened and resulted in what come to follow was not an immediate suspension, because an immediate suspension would mean that the Young Bucks and Kenny were suspended indefinitely, but they were stripped of the AEW Trios Tag Team Championships. Punk was stripped of his AEW World Title, and apparently
he was supposed to get stripped regardless, because apparently he had a tricep tear or something of that nature.
Yes, he had a tricep tear. Fucking Jack Daniels. He had a tricep tear during his match with Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
He tore the shit up even worse during the backstage altercation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is where I was sort of confused. A lot of people were putting out that Ace Steel was automatically fired. Now he's suspended.
Yeah, apparently the first round of shit that people were saying was bullshit. So don't
I
believe like
like
the first round of shit. The second
well,
round of shit where they said
right.
that everybody was suspended is the one where apparently that's the correct one.
Yes. Yes. So it's basically official. Christopher Daniels, Michael Nakazawa, Brandon Cutler, Kenny Omega, the Bucks, Ace Steel, and CM Punk have been suspended. We don't know how long the suspensions are for. We don't know if it's indefinite until they're ready to make peace and come back. Well, we know CM Punk's thing. He's going to be out for 6 to 8 months because of the tricep injury. So either way, even if his suspension is lifted, he's still going to be gone. But we need to know for sure if, after the suspension, if everyone's going to be, on the same page or if everyone's just going to be walking on fucking eggshells. But yeah, I'm giving you the floor. I've gotten everyone else's thoughts.
Yeah.
I'll give you my thoughts after.
Mm-hmm.
I'm letting you run it.
All right. My initial thoughts were more or less more bullshit. Fuck. More backstage bullshit for AEW, right? Because it's like it's been we've heard the whole thing with Sammy and Eddie, and some other people in the company, including Thunder Rosa, and it's been a lot of people who haven't been happy. And I'm looking at this in a professional sense. I would have tried to nip all of this in the butt beforehand by having some sort of mediator kind of like go around and get some feelers and have everybody kind of like come together, have a powwow meeting, kind of talk to everybody, try to get everybody, on board and together, on the same page.
Well, apparently they had the meeting
Yeah.
on Zoom that Wednesday morning. That's when they announced the official suspensions. So I'm guessing like they're gonna do that for now since they didn't want to. Since apparently no one who was at this Buffalo show didn't show up. They want to keep everyone separate until everyone's like calm the fuck down and all that.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like before any of this even went down.
Yeah.
If we could go back, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you started hearing from everybody there was this, kind of like beef in the locker room, right? I would have went around and sent like feelers and people out there who work for me who are like, all right, this is what's going down. We're hearing this, we're hearing that, blah, blah, blah. And then I would have had everybody kind of have a powwow and kind of like, all right, so let's get this shit out. Let's talk about it. Not with any media, not with all these people, nobody, just everybody who's basically working in the company who feels some type of way. Let's sit down and share our grievances and see what's wrong, what we can do to help this. Because it's not something new. And you can tell by the way that Toni was nodding his head yes every time CM Punk said anything. It's not a new deal. You feel me? Like this ain't. He knows that shit has been going down. He's seen that he had to suspend Eddie, and there's been the shit going down, and then the talks with Rosa. And so if I'm hearing all this shit with all these people, I get everybody together and be like, all right, let's figure this shit the fuck out. Because at the end of the day, I can't have all this shit out there in the streets. We have to work together as a unit. We have to work for one common goal, and that is to get this company above and beyond what it needs to, what WWE is right now. We're trying to eat everybody. We're trying to be above everybody. We're trying to be our best. You feel me? And I would get everybody on the same page, kind of like, all right, let's work together. Let's be the best. Let's be on top of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Let's be the best wrestling company we can probably ever create. Because in the last few generations, like it's been hard already. You feel me? Like there's been a lot of crazy shit that goes on, as you can see by Vince McMahon, who's no longer here.
But honestly, like the real question I want to ask you is, it's like, Do you think Punk was in the wrong when he did?
I think everyone was
when he did
not the promo, because the promo apparently was somewhat planned. Like he already had the idea of what he was gonna go with.
Yeah, that was
So,
another thing
yeah.
because Wrestle Talk said that that whole thing with Punk, the media scrum, that shit was planned. I'm like, what? No fucking no.
Apparently they, he talked to Tony about it beforehand. Which is why I'm going that far back, because it's like if Tony knew that this shit was going on, why the fuck didn't he nip it in the butt to begin with?
Why
You
didn't he
feel me?
just cut his mic off?
If it was that serious, not even before he even got there, before he even said anything, I wouldn't have these motherfuckers be talking all their grievances shoot over live mic, because it's like, bro, that shit can get sticky, and unfortunately, the way you set up your company, you got these EVPs who are best buddies, and they're supposed to be the EVPs of the company, which means they're supposed to act, responsibly, respectfully. You feel me? Like they're supposed to be, the top dogs. You feel me? They're supposed to be up there with Tony Khan. So that you're supposed to be one of the people who's protecting us and not putting us in a place where we can get into bullshit. Them already knowing how Punk was feeling on top of that too, why the fuck would you go to this man's locker room if you weren't looking for a fight? So I feel like that's bullshit too. All this, we were going to talk. Yeah, I wasn't talking. He said what he said. He got y'all tight. He got you hot. And you went to his locker room, not the other way around. I would have pressed him as well, but I would have went about it differently. I would have been like, all right, we gonna solve this. And when shit, he's all bloody, all fucked up, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go whoop his ass like that. I'm gonna catch him when he's nice and fresh and talk to this man like you had mad shit to say. You had all this energy. So talk in front of me, right here. And even then, as an EVP, you shouldn't even be going about it that way. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, you're running the company more or less. Yeah, he's out here saying that he's running the company. That looks ugly on everybody's parts. And that's one thing that here's one thing I've always hated that about Vince, but at the same time, now I see why he kind of had to be tough on these motherfuckers, because they'll try to run your ass over. And it's sad, but it's true. You got to be a boss at the end of the day. You can't let this shit go down. So I put the blame on everybody involved, but I also put a heavy amount of blame on Tony Khan himself.
At this point right now,
he could have cut this shit the fuck
off. That was career suicide on Punk and on Tony Khan. The fact that Tony Khan just went along with this, and the fact that Punk just basically, again, aired out his fucking grievances and put out another pipe bomb in a meeting off fucking pay-per-view, off camera, where you could just fucking find this shit on YouTube and watch it over and over and over. It's like, move over, fucking Austin. Even though you wrestled in Mania 38, you're irrelevant now. Move over, Vince. Even though you fucked a bunch of paralegals, you're not irrelevant, because now it's back to Punk again.
My beef is, I'm looking at Punk right quick, right? And my beef with the way he went about it is that he already got his comeback. He already talked his shit that he had to talk when it came to Hangman Page. You feel me?
Yeah.
If the EVP say what they say, you go up to them personally and say, yo, what's all that shit you saying? Why you spreading all that shit? You feel me? You're supposed to be the head of the company along with Tony. You're supposed to be over here trying to put me over. The same shit he said on the mic, I would have told them personally, straight up. And I would have probably even got Tony, like, Tony, we're going to talk about this shit. Because this shit can't be happening. Everything that he said, I would have had everybody lined up and I would have said, yo, we talking about this right here. Because I'm over this shit and I'm not going to play with y'all little kids. Everything he said in that situation, they could have said that shit in the back while nobody was around except for them and Tony. You feel me? He trying to put the business out there, you know what I'm saying? Thinking like he venting and trying to. No, man, that's not a pipe bomb, bro. You're doing the same shit they doing. And that's my beef with Punk when it comes to that situation. Yeah, air your grievances, but air your grievances, you know, I understand that they did, well, Hangman, you know, set his shit out there, but you said your half too. So that's it. That's where that dies. And then you go and you have a conversation with these motherfuckers. Because if they walk around telling all these people shit, then you got to nip that shit in the butt too and be like, yo, Toni, let's talk. Here's your boys. This is what the fuck they doing. So, like, regardless, everything could have been avoided, and that shit bothers me. That they could have avoided this just by having all these conversations way before it even got here. And if they was going to fight, nigga, fuck it. Grab 2 boxing gloves, 2 pairs of boxing gloves, grab a paramedic and a ref, grab yourself, lock yourself in a fucking room, and have 2 of those motherfuckers just beat the shit out of each other. And then, what did you learn, guys? Everybody okay? Everybody okay? Okay, but let them go the fuck home after that. And the story, either way, you finish the fucking problem before it gets this far. Because now you got lawyers and bullshit involved.
With that being said, are we ready to get to Dynamite?
Oh, shit. I think you said that wrong. I'm running all of wrestling now. The question is, are you ready?
I mean, you're using the wrong voice. You should
I said, are you ready?
I am ready. You're going to see Johnny wrestle on Monday Night Raw.
All right, let's get on with this. Then, for the thousands in attendance. And
minus TJ, it doesn't equal 1,000.
And the millions watching at home.
That's you, watching and listening at home.
Yes, sir.
It is time to light the fuse and bring the boom. Did somebody say boom?
Let's.
Hold on, six. Hold on, I'm sorry. Submitted to the approval of the Banter Club. This is the debut of Fly Guy.
Can I at least say, let's banter, and then we talk about all that shit? God damn.
Yes. I wanted to give you a title for the show. The fuck? I haven't done that in a while.
Fine. Ruining my gimmicks. Go, goddamn. Boom.
AEW Dynamite is on their New York State tour. We start week 1 in Buffalo, New York, home of West Side Gun, which we will talk about later, and home of Daniel Garcia, who we will also talk about later. We open up the show with a recap of the return of MJF at All Out. You know, showing what happened at the ladder match, beating Stokely halfway, being now called the self-proclaimed king of the ladder matches.
You remember that guy who used to do the mysteries reveal?
Hell yeah, son. Yo, they had that shit on
the
Pluto
meme
TV?
of everybody saying that MJF with the mask on when he was the Joker. He looked like that motherfucker.
You know what niggas was saying?
Yeah.
On the chat when I was doing this shit live?
What?
One of the niggas, one of the Ramblemaniacs on the chat said, "Oh, it's Marco's son." I'm like, yo, when did this nigga get roided up and fucking grew like 2 weeks? And another dude said it was Jeff Hardy. I'm like, first of all, Jeff will be fucking pulling a victory road right now, and that man is not brolic and he's tall.
We
like,
gonna leave Jeff Hardy alone. He recovered.
I would have just been, yo, if it was me, I would have just been like, yo, wrong answers only, and that would have been funny as fuck. But
yeah, you should have done that offer.
But after we get the recap and all that shit, we open up the show officially with Tony Khan making a huge... Oh, my God. My fault. I'm sorry if I'm pulling a Rick Sanchez here. With Tony Khan making a huge announcement. As a chorus of boos from the crowd, the world title has officially been vacated, as well as the trios titles. But we will be having our opening contest for the trios championships as the Best Friends versus Death Triangle for the titles tonight. as far as the AEW World Championship is concerned, we will have a tournament throughout the entire New York tour because I believe after Queens, they go to Canada.
Canada.
No, Canada.
Canada.
They're doing a tournament to crown a brand new, not interim, because if it was interim again, I was about to go buck wild on the IWGP belt.
Nah, man. Interim is, see, he winning all the belts. He's whooping Vacant's ass.
At this point, interim is the sister of Vacant.
Vacant is getting his ass.
So
whooped.
there is a tournament announced for the AEW World Championship. In the first round, it is basically Danielson, Hangman Page, Sammy Guevara, and Darby Allin. In the semifinals, 2 men have a buy-in because they were former AEW World Champions, being Jericho in the first semifinal and Jon Moxley in the second semifinal. The winner of the 2 first matches will go on to face those guys, and the main event of the show. So basically, whoever faces the winner of the first round will face Jericho at God damn it, where the fuck are they going?
Albany?
Yes, Albany. And then also Rampage, whoever wins that one will be facing Moxley at Albany also. And then the finals will take place at where you're going to be at Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens. So you're going to see an AEW World Champion take place in Queens. Maybe 2.
By the way, TJ, I have your money, but you went on vacation, so
this man said, "Yo, I got your money. You better come and collect."
Yeah, hopefully next week, if anything.
But after Tony Khan gets an adulation of boos from the crowd in Buffalo, New York, we officially open up the show with the devil himself making his return, Sir Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF. He gets a huge ovation from the crowd because even though he is from Long Island, he is overall a New York native, so he's going to get the babyface, adulation from the crowd overall. His music hits. He comes to the crowd. He has completely come unglued. He runs over to the commentary table. He gives Taz a hug because they're best friends, and he flips off fucking Jim Ross and Excalibur. And he's wearing a Buffalo Bills jersey just to give the crowd, a good, home field advantage since they were going to be the first team to face off against the LA Rams, the defending champs.
Fuck the Bills, by the way.
Fuck the Giants. I'm a Jets fan.
Fuck you. I'm a Giants fan.
Oh, fuck you.
That's how that goes.
All right, the crowd is screaming MJF, Buffalo, New York. The devil is back. He's asked who's excited to see MJF, and hell yeah, we were all excited indeed.
Mm-hmm.
He sure as heck is excited to be back in All Elite Wrestling. And the last time we saw him, he said some offensive things. And we can all agree he was joking. He was joking. He even said, I was joking, guys. I was joking. I never meant to say those things, even though even though from the bottom of my heart, I really did meant to call Tony Khan a fucking mark.
Hakushi.
And he will never leave this place. And he has the crowd chanting, AEW. AEW.
Yeah.
AEW.
Fuck yeah. Guys. AEW, guys.
He says, we know the title is vacated. And that he knows one man who deserves that title. And one working smart, not hard, means with his chip, he could do anything, anytime, anywhere, when he wants. And he tells the whole crowd that he has a boatload of money on the side. You know that man, Tony Khan, paid that man a million. I don't know why I'm singing Lil Wayne songs. I should not be doing that.
Here, a million there. Cecily Inch with long hair. With
all right, copyrights. Let's not. He says, though we may think that we are in dark times, and there was a wise old Jewish man with another M who was named, who split the sea, and he is in Moses. He's better than him and better than us. Jon Moxley's music hits. He looks none too pleased.
He literally said he was better than Moses. This motherfucker's wild.
Yeah, he is better than Moses. You know, I hate moments like I hate when guys go on the mic, even if it's in the indie. I hate when guys cut this line and say that they're greater than God or they're wrestling gods. It's like, I know I'm not religious, but you should be smited.
To me, it's more of a like, enough people call themselves gods in this thing or the best, or you know what I'm saying? So it's like, find a creative way to call yourself the best. You know what I'm saying? Talk about your attributes.
All right, man, let me get the journalistic shit in play. It took me 3 hours to write these notes.
Go ahead.
I said Moxley. TJ's gonna be so proud.
Go ahead.
Moxley's music hits. He looks none too pleased, while the crowd also goes crazy as he makes his way through the crowd.
They were kind of booing him at first, by the way.
Yeah, they were, but you know,
they were loving MJF and his bullshit. Even though I knew off rip, I'm like, he's full of shit. I'm waiting for him to turn around and be like, yeah, you know I'm full of shit, right?
You know, maybe they were just booing the alter ego that is Dean Ambrose until he got in the ring and started talking, because then they started cheering.
I think it was at first they were like, oh, you're interrupting MJF and he's being great. And then after, once they realized, wait a minute, he's kind of right. This guy is probably full of shit. I think that's what ended up happening.
All right. Moxley gets into the ring with a mic, stares down MJF. He calls MJF full of shit, even though he called him full of crap. I like to revert that. So Richard retorts Jonathan and begins to rip into the bills and chucks the jersey into the crowd. He says he doesn't know if Mox is woozy because he went to sleep, but maybe he doesn't care about the people or AEW and sees the belt as a chip in the bidding war of 2024 and take it to a real company with real fans and real wrestlers, like the American roller coaster Cody Rhodes. He wants to work for jolly old Saint Nick. Talking about Nick Khan.
He said the only con that matters,
because that's what's best for business. He brings up the Triple H shit, you know, being his second favorite wrestler being The Game, as MJF being in that company is what's best for business. As Mox slaps the mic out of his hand, Mox is in no mood and says to leave now or he will make him, as he takes his jacket off. MJF is struggling to get his shirt off. That was funny.
Yeah.
As Moxley just looks at him with pity as he bolts from the ring and heads up the ramp. Mox quips, "Your music sucks, by the way." Mox is pissed off for a variety of reasons, mainly because he doesn't have the belt, the only worldly possession that matters, not only to him, but to others, and it screams passion for everyone, and 3 letters represent the dream, AEW, the heroes, and the show the world exactly what wrestling could be. It means being better than being what you were the day before. It represents everything Moxley loves about this business. He is beat red and out of breath, mainly because you were supposed to have the fucking day off, and Toni was like, yo, you got to show up because these guys are
He said it.
Yeah, because cannibalism. Yeah. You have to show up because of cannibalism. All right.
Yo, not for nothing. Respect to everything Jon Moxley said. Respect.
Yeah, because
he's the leader that we need. To be honest, Jon Moxley has always been the leader that we needed. He's not the one that we deserve, but he's the one that we need. He's fucking Batman. No.
if there's honestly, two locker room leaders that we need in AEW, one is Jon Moxley, the other is Sting.
Although people are saying maybe Jericho.
No, I give it to Sting. He has a lot of history,
But
especially
from what
within
I
the
heard, he don't
territorial
really
days.
be there like that. So
I know, but still, you
if you're gonna have a
gotta at
crew,
least.
he gotta be, the guy who's gonna be there and make sure shit like that don't come off all the time. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So Moxley says he's beat red and out of breath. He says he got pinned, and that's his fault, and
Mhm.
should be on vacation, but he's going to take another shot. Though the mountain is high, with all the guys more gifted, talented, better wrestlers than he'll ever be, the ace always wants the ball, and he wants it. Hey, yo. This isn't
Come on.
just winning time for Jon Moxley. This is the time to be a legend. Moxley walks up the ramp and motions 3 as he stares back at the crowd. Well, I mean, technically, they did have it correct because they are counting his WWE Championship reign. So
Mhm.
he is technically a 3-time world champion. So he did point to 3 because he is technically on the hunt to becoming the very first ever 3-time AEW world
AEW.
champion.
Mhm.
He is the first ever 2nd-time AEW world champion. So he could pull a hat trick here. But there is the possibility that there are a lot of guys that could get it way more than Jon Moxley. Now, I'm not saying that, I mean, quite possibly what we saw here on Dynamite, we know what we're technically going to get, but I'm hoping that, this is what I'm predicting. And this is what I'm going for in the finals. Danielson, Allen.
I want Mox at the end.
You
I
want
feel like
Blackpool combat clubs to kill each other?
yes.
Again?
I'll tell you what it is. I don't care who's at the end with Mox. I just want Mox at the end. And I'll tell you why. I feel like he deserves it. He deserves it. And I feel like not only that, he would be the perfect person to start a story with MJF. I feel like MJF winning the belt as a heel versus Jon Moxley would also be a dope situation, even though a lot of people want to see him win it and become baby. But I feel like he has more money and he will always have more money as a heel. He's worth more as a bad guy than he'll ever be as a good guy, I feel like. No matter what other people might think, your opinions are your opinions. My opinion is I say MJF versus Mox is where I want this to end up. So I want Mox to win the belt.
Well, like I was gonna tell you, there's a possibility that it's the Queen show, and Tony Khan said that he wants to make this like the best Grand Slam possible.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be the possibility that I mean, I'm just saying, like maybe this is my theory. Darby wins the belt, MJF cashes his chip, he wins at the Queen show. We have our match going into Full Gear, Darby versus MJF, and
That's
then
not
we could
bad either.
we could officially begin,
Mm-hmm.
just like the Summer of Punk. We're gonna go the complete opposite because me and TJ talked about this. We're gonna go the Winter of Maxwell.
Ooh, I fuck with that too.
Because here's the thing, there's gonna be it's most likely gonna. Well, I'm not gonna count the cash in as like an official match because either way there would have been a Darby MJF 3 taking place at Winter is Coming, but it's gonna be MJF Darby 2 Winter is Coming, and then we have
I wouldn't say that's bad either. I like that.
and then we have MJF going forward being the heel champion that he is until we find an actual babyface that could actually stand up against MJF,
Mm-hmm.
which will quite possibly be, going back to the continuity gem, Wardlow. Or Punk when he comes back from injury.
I want to see Mox, man. I want to see Mox do something. I love Punk. I'm always gonna be a Punk fan, but it is what it is with that man. I'm not writing him off. I'm just not putting him in my future plans of ideas because it's like
I know, but
every time I get excited about you, some fuck shit happen. So I'm gonna just leave that shit alone, and I'm gonna go with my boy Mox, and I hope my boy Mox, eventually, because I want him to fucking reign too. I feel like he deserves it. I feel like he can get a huge look at this whole fucking interview that he just not interview, a promo that he just cut. It was so inspiring. He can rally the troops. He's that fucking guy, bro. He can cut a promo that'll make a match with him. You don't even have to say shit. Let's say me, right? I wanted to be a wrestler or some shit, and I went and decided to go. And John Moxley had to cut a promo to get us over because they're not comfortable with me cutting a promo yet or some shit. Let's say, right? I go over there and Moxley just cuts a banger of a promo, and all of a sudden everybody wants to see this fight, and they don't even know me. That's how good this motherfucker is. That's why I want to see him prosper. I feel like he needs to be up there somehow.
Wouldn't it make the most sense to have 2 of your 4 pillars in AEW, the future of this company, main event with the World Championship? And I'm not gonna mention WWE guys and all that shit. Hear me out.
I already get what you're saying. I'm saying this. I'm saying after you should do the pro. If it doesn't, if you don't want to go that way and you want to go the way you're saying, which I actually like that idea. Yeah. What I would do is after the whole Darby Allin and MJF thing goes off, do something good with Mox because he deserves something good after all this shit, bro. He dead ass came on his day off, my mans, and cut a fucking banger of a promo that rallied the troops. I love this guy, bro.
Yeah,
he's beast.
And also, like, I could go with your theory also because at the same time, it will actually give MJF his win back against Moxley when he faced him for the AEW World Championship. Now it will be reversed. MJF is champion, Moxley is the challenger. MJF could get his win back right then and there. Because, again, we didn't even talk about this throughout the whole thing. MJF now has a huge-ass fucking faction.
Yep.
We were going to crown new trio champions here tonight, which is Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Trent, and Chucky Taylor taking on Death Triangle of Penta, Phoenix, and the AEW All-Atlantic Champion, the Bastard Pac.
Bastard.
Both teams get a great ovation from the Buffalo crowd. The match starts off with Cassidy and Pac with a nice throwback to their previous encounters, but Penta attacks in and flips in. He washes Orange's face, but Orange counters with a glorious sunglasses remover into the crowd. Goes for the pockets, but counters by Penta with a backbreaker, countered by a Hurricanrana. Phoenix tags in, and it's frantic already. Death Triangle go for a triple tope, but gets sent to the outside. Cassidy with an assist front flip into Death Triangle. We cut to a commercial break, and when we come back, during the picture-in-picture, Chuck Taylor with a massive dive onto everyone. Trent and Pac are now exchanging blows. Pac with a whip onto the corner, but Trent counters with a stomp. Cassidy tags in. Double runner onto the Lucha Bros, but runs into an elbow by Pac, now stomping him into the corner. Danhausen up on the apron. Alex drags him down and gets punched in the gut. Danhausen goes to curse Pac and then eats a big boot by Pac. Cassidy throws Pac into the ring and hits a huge crossbody and a swinging DDT, setting up for a punch, but it's countered and stunned. Then Orange hits a stun dog millionaire. Chuck gets tagged in versus Lucha Bros. He takes them out in the corner, but Penta follows with a lung blower. 1, 2, he got him. No. Phoenix tags in, gets boot from Chuck into half and half by Trent, and then they give the people what they want. They hug. Trent with a sickening DDT onto Phoenix, but he springs up. My God, what a fucking cutter onto Trent. Mm-hmm. Cassidy spikes Pac. Penta spikes Orange, and Trent goes for the crunchy roll. But a double super kick. 1, 2, he got him. No. At 2.9, Phoenix and Penta. But Cassidy, with Orange punch, awful waffle by Trent. Kick out at 2. All six men are in the ring, just fucking standing there, menacingly. They all run into super kicks. Triple Canadian Destroyers. It's time for the fucking Fear Factor. Phoenix wipes out the best friends along with Penta. Pack up top. Black Arrow. 1, 2, 3. We have new trios champs. Pac being the first ever AEW wrestler to hold on to 2 AEW championships, not Kenny holding on to the AAA, the Impact, the TNA, and the All Elite. You know, it's Pac holding on to 2 belts from the same fucking company in different divisions. 6, ramble on this fucking match.
Yo, hold on right quick. Do you think when CM Punk described the Bucks coming in through the door, they just kicked in the door
and they waved the 4-4?
No, and they were standing there
menacingly.
And I had to punch him.
I had to Canadian him. I had to super kick him, and then I had to Black Arrow.
They were just standing there. Menacingly. Nah. I'm not going to admit it. This match was fucking fire, bro. I love these types of matches, man. Because you know what it is? I feel like the best friends are absolutely fearless and will do whatever the fuck they got to do. But at the same time, we know how crazy Death Triangle is. So it was just a lot of cool high spots. It was mad fun, bro. Like this was a great match. And I'm sorry, but I kind of did not miss the Elite for this. I was like, yeah, I really like this match right here. Not to say anything about the Elite, you know. I mean, I love,
or the match at All Out.
Yeah, I love the Bucks. You know, when it comes to wrestling, not what so much their actions as EVPs, because I spoke about that earlier. But when it comes to wrestling, I like watching their matches. And of course, I love watching Kenny Omega's matches. But it's just like, I didn't need y'all tonight. These motherfuckers, they killed it.
So when you watched All Out, was your mind telling you, damn, the Bucks are gonna win? But your body wanted the Dark Order to win.
So story-wise, I kind of wanted the Dark Order to win.
I wanted that also, but fuck you guys.
But I voted for Kenny and the Bucks because I knew this is what they wanted.
Yeah,
they wanted these belts, so I knew that you know they were gonna win. But it's not what I wanted to happen, really. It's what I knew was gonna happen. You know, it's a difference. When you want something to happen, it's like, what would make me happy when it comes to the story? And what I wanted is, you know, the Dark Order, because, you know, they're the good guys. You know, they're the guys that have been kind of like in the cut as of late, and nobody really been paying too much attention to them. So to see them kind of get that win and kind of get, you know, a big up, and that would have been dope. But it is what it is, and we knew what was going to happen there. And I'm kind of glad that we had to go again at it, because now we can play with all these other tag teams. You know what I'm saying? Rather than the Elite only picking the guys that they want. You know, now Toni can actually sit down and write a story and be like, all right, now we can make these belts mean something, you know?
So I just text TJ. You want to know what I just wrote to him?
What?
I just wrote, yo, you're going to kill me in 6 right now, son. And he's like, what do you mean? It's like, yo, we doing a Hail Mary on this show, son.
We're just giving our inputs. It is what it is. He'll clip out whatever needs to be clipped out. He knows what's too much and what's too little.
And he sends me a gif of Hank Hill with a cutout. Oh no, of Tom Anderson with a cutout of Beavis.
You can stop right there, fella.
You can tell this man is in the ATL right now. Peace out.
Having fun. It's all good, man.
All right, so after the match, we go backstage with Tony Schiavone. I'm guessing they just got rid of Alex Marvez because he's just been gone. Tony Schiavone.
Well, he was there for for All Out.
Nigga, I watched.
He was still teleporting.
I did not see him at the 0. Well, I probably was not paying attention at those segments,
When we saw Alex Marvez and we was over here like, holy shit, look, he's still teleporting.
TJ is right. TJ just wrote to me, what the hell did you boys do? He's like,
nah, we just talking. That's it. We
I'll tell him Monday. I'll tell him Monday when he gets back.
Nah, just tell him like we talked a good amount. That's it.
So we got Tony Schiavone with the Dark Order. You know, they're talking about their outcome at All Out being in the finals, not winning the trios titles. And you know, I'm digging Evil Uno's mask and Ten's mask and shit. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, they went full Slipknot and changed their mask.
Yeah, I was about to say, my nigga, yo, like, I'm about to buy this. I'm about to download the Slipknot album, and you guys are right here. I'm like, will you sing until I die? Like, fucking hell.
Yo,
Shit.
not for nothing, bro. Like, it gave me vibes of back in the day of like the Bam Margera days.
Viva la Bam.
Hell yeah, back when I used to actually listen to Slipknot and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I stick my fingers into my eyes.
I still do. I mean, like, I don't really give a shit. I still do. All right, so
the park days.
Right. Again, the typical backstage interview. Right when the person that's about to be interviewed is gonna say something, someone wants to fucking come interrupt. I'm about to call this man the attempted murderer because, oh my god, does this man love to pull New Jack stuff? When did Jose the assistant start tasing the fuck out of people?
I don't know. It wasn't me. I coño.
Nigga tased me in the bathroom. Wasn't me. Nigga tased me on the sofa. It wasn't me.
Yo, I kind of like the stupid shit on the side with Danhausen and fucking Alex Abrahamson. He punched him in the nuts after he cursed him.
Yo, for a brolic nigga like
yeah.
Jose the assistant, I mean, shout out to my brother Jose.
Now, Jose, I was talking about Alex Abrahamson in the match.
No, I know who you're talking about. No, but for a guy like Jose the assistant, why isn't this guy like, you know, the I know he's basically the what Andrade is to AEW. He's the Alberto Del Rio, and this nigga is basically like the ring announcer and shit.
You mean the Ricardo?
Yes,
Ricardo Rodriguez.
Ricardo Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting vibes of, because, you know, even though he's not making the ring announcing and Andrade's not coming out with the fancy cars, it's like this nigga's there. He's there to do his job, and he's there to tase the fuck out of people. He's there to do a New Jack to anyone who looks like Vic Grimes to him.
I don't know why, but
we get a short recap of the Fatal 4-Way women's match at All Out that took place. The fallout of Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Do you think this might be the time where Jamie Hayter might finally split from Britt and Reba or Rebel?
Maybe. But the way they're making it seem like, I feel like Britt Baker's almost like extremely remorseful.
Yeah.
The way they're making it seem. Which might just be a build-up or a setup for her to like go full heel later on.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm kind of, when it comes to like certain stories like this, I kind of like to go with the flow because I kind of want to see where they're going. Because at the end of that little video package that they played, like Britt Baker's like, stop recording. Like, you know, like I'm trying to talk to my friend kind of deal. So, you know.
You want to get you want to hear my theory on this?
Talk to me. There's
a slight possibility that we might get Jamie Hayter, Toni Storm at the Queen show just for the belt. Just for Britt Baker to finally continue her heel turn and fuck over Jamie Hayter.
That way we can take me out of that building, bro.
Yeah, that way we can have that angle of Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker going forward. That way we can have a body for Toni Storm to deal with going at full gear. That's just my theory. I don't know if Tony Khan is gonna.
Toni Storm got a body, all right.
Hey man, you know, when it comes to Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm, you and I are gonna be fighting because like nobody touched Jamie Hayter.
I'm telling you, bro, I'm gonna be there live.
No, you're gonna be there live. But I'm gonna be like, yo, if Jamie Hayter don't win, I'm gonna come to New York. I'm gonna super kick the shit out of Six, and I'm gonna leave.
I don't care which one win. All
right, so
TJ, get me out. TJ, you gonna have to carry me out the building, motherfucker. Goddamn.
You're gonna have to tell everybody to get you. I'm gonna have to tell Kenny and I'm gonna have to tell Kenny and Dave who are gonna be in Queens also to get your ass out of there. Also, like, yo,
did you help?
yeah, my boy Six out of there, yo. He bugging out. Tony Storm just lost, and he want to fight. He want to fight Jamie Hayter, and I'm not having that.
If she lose, Jamie Hayter's still fine as fuck, dude, man. You forgetting I'm a true day one hater, bro. Why be a lover when you can be a hater?
So we move forward to the AEW Women's World Title Eliminator match. It's a non-title match. It's an eliminator match between Toni Storm, the AEW Interim Women's World Champion, taking on Penelope Ford, accompanied by her husband, Kip Sabian. I'm guessing we're still continuing with that gimmick.
5,000.
I am the Osmo 4000.
I was weak. Damn gimmick. Weak. Lame. Weak. Lame.
I couldn't be packing all out. I was weak.
Weak. Lame.
But yeah, they're still going on with that gimmick. I thought that shit was scrapped, honestly.
My son Q Kip over here.
But yeah, again, they like to do these little things where if, you know, I'm thinking the women's eliminator match is this. If you're like the lowest ranking person, you know, in the ranking system for the women's title, they're going to give you an opportunity to face the women's champion in a non-title match. And if you win the match, yeah, it's like a wild card thing. So if you win the match, you get the automatic title shot. But if you lose, it's like, you fucked. You're irrelevant until you make it number one now.
Let's talk about this match. Get in there because Toni Storm out here wilding.
Collar and elbow tie up with a crook roll up by Storm. Both women, some fine technical wrestling so far, including a headlock. Switches up with Storm with a series of shoulder blocks and a drop kick onto the corner. Ford avoids a hip attack, but eats a drop kick. Storm goes to attack Ford and gets thrown into the steps. We go into picture in picture. Back from the break, Ford is in control now as she brings Toni Storm into the corner. Goes for a cartwheel shoulder block. Well, basically the fucking backflip backhand with the shoulder block and shit. Into the post. Both women trade punches and now Storm with a whip into the corner with a massive hip tap. Goes for the elevated DDT. 1, 2, 3.
Did you see how she did that hip attack, boy? The way she set up that hip attack when she starts slapping her booty, I'm like, whoa, girl. You're gonna have me dry heaving over here.
She beats Toni Storm in a matter of 6 minutes. Thought it was a good match. What did you think?
It was a good match. I mean, I feel like Penelope Ford is a solid ass hand, bro. I feel like she's one of those girls that you always gonna have a pretty decent match with. I haven't seen her have too many bad matches. I can't think of a really bad Penelope Ford match. Like she's a really good wrestler. So to have Toni Storm come out here and kind of like showcase her abilities now that she's the interim women's championship. Women's championship. The interim women's champion. I feel like that's gonna be. I mean, that was a decent match. It was a good look. It was basically kind of showing her off, and then now we can start stories and stuff, you know, which is kind of good. I like that.
I honestly think that like maybe Penelope Ford had one bad match, probably with Brandy Rhodes. I don't know if that.
Yeah, but we not even. That's not.
We got a video package 2.0, the sports entertainers.
Oh, shit, it's time for the sports entertainers.
Talking about their attack on Hook when Action Bronson came to make the save. Bronson says to not go after his boy Hook, and he's gonna be waiting for them at Queens since that's his hometown. And you think Hook is crazy? You think of Action Bronson because I mean, that man better be high. That man better be high as fuck, coming out with some fucking expensive ass fucking meal, being like, "Fuck, this is delicious." Going out there to wrestle, thinking about ancient aliens and shit.
Ancient Aliens was funny too when he was doing that with Sabu and RVD.
I watched all that man's shows. I listened to all that man's albums. Oh my god, that nigga's next.
When he said that line, he said, "You know about Hook. He crazy, but you don't know me. You don't know me." And I'm over here like, "You damn right, you crazy." Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like y'all motherfuckers don't know. Action Bronson's crazy. Like he used to fucking suplex motherfuckers out of his show. Like this man, usually anybody who try to step into his show, bro, he throwing you off the goddamn stage. He's strong as fuck. He works out like a maniac.
On a fucking crash pad while watching Ancient Aliens with DJ Alchemist.
Facts. And Sabu and RVD.
Word, son, word. But
while
no,
eating
that
with delicious food and then being like, yo, fuck, that's delicious.
Yo, honestly, like I'm just gonna say this right now. Yeah. Fuck you. I'm jealous of you. I'm jealous of Tev. I'm jealous of everybody that's going to Queens. My nigga, even Kenny invited me to come. He even had, he probably had a ticket ready for me and everything. And I'm like, oh man, I can't go nowhere at this point. Not even that I'm not. We're like, nigga.
I'm saying like you could, you know what I'm saying?
Unemployment.
Catch a ride.
No, nigga. Unemployment. I've already been approved. Like, trust me. I'm still not gonna do
Kenny
it because
can get you a ticket. If Kenny can get you a ticket.
No, that ticket went to Dave. That went to Dave. Like it's just my nigga. I'm just not gonna take that risk until fucking New York gets safe. I'm not taking that fucking risk.
I'm telling you, bro, you would have had some fun. Just probably sleep over one of our cribs and then just go get fucked up. But anyways, we were talking about my guys.
Yeah, it was nice to see some match that had some faces. Now we move on to the Acclaim. Their music hits. They're coming down to the aisle. They're about to spit some fucking hot ass shit that took place after All Out and shit. But nope. Swerve's music hits, interrupts. Huge ass boos from the crowd. Like the crowd was waiting for Max Caster to spit them bars.
He was about to go, but you know what's crazy though? I feel like they did that on purpose. You know why? He would have had to spit some shit about CM Punk, or else he looked hella soft. So I'm pretty sure they were like, how can we get him not to look soft and not to say anything about CM Punk? Let's make it not his fault. Let's make it so Swerve comes out before he can even spit bars. And then, then after that, it's Swerve's fault. So he gets all the heat. And then we get a good bad guy out of it. Because now everybody knows, oh, you're a heel now, motherfucker. And then at the same time, you get the babyface cheered. And Max Caster still looks hard as fuck.
So I'm guessing these guys were supposed to have a match, but it was basically an impromptu promo because when Swerve came out, he has a mic in his hand and he says, sorry, but do you people want to hear these corny ass jokes? And the people chant yes, and they chant asshole to Swerve.
Asshole.
Billy Gunn grabs the mic from Max Caster. Swervy boy, this ain't your house no more. This is Daddy Ass's house. Bowen says in 2 weeks, the uncrowned AEW Tag Team Champions are taking the belts. Now scissor me 60 ass.
Hey, yo. Yo, not for nothing, bro. That shit had me cracking up, bro. When he said, this ain't your house anymore. This is Daddy Ass's. Tell him Daddy Ass. Yo, Kip Sabian versus Kip Stop. Let's do it.
And the crowd is a little upset because they were expecting a rap from Max Caster talking about cannibalism and dogs and Tony Khan on coke and allegedly and all that other shit. But Swerve, I'm guessing after this is quite possible. Again, another theory I'm throwing out here: the Acclaimed are winning because Swerve is going to basically commence the full-on heel turn against Keith Lee because Keith Lee I'm not gonna say Keith Lee can't never be a heel. He sucks as a heel, but Keith Lee needs to be the babyface going into this to face Swerve.
I think. Let's see what happens because I feel like he could still be I feel like they're gonna split him, which is why they're doing this. But I do feel like Keith Lee can play. He's a good actor, so I know he can play the line. You know what I'm saying? I think he's pretty good at playing the line where he's still a babyface, but he's kind of a heel now that he's aligned with Swerve. So it's like they can play that line a little bit, but I do feel like eventually, the plan is to get to a point where, you know, they're split. But let's see how that goes.
Yeah. Backstage, Tony Schiavone with the just. Jericho says it was a gigantic win and he's better than ever. 400 years ago, Ponce de Leon couldn't find the fountain of youth, but Corazon de Leon did. Lionheart in Spanish.
Yeah.
He's drinking it in, man. I gotta drink it in, man. Excuse me.
Man. All right.
He's the best wrestler, man. Best sports entertainer, man. And he's gonna be the 8-time world champion, man. And this is his locker room, man. And no one is taking it away from him. He hypes up Sammy versus Darby, and Sammy adds his turtle ass because Darby likes turtles.
I like turtles.
I like turtles. And Danny Garcia is gonna be left alone, but Jericho believes in him. He asks Sammy about Danny being alone, and Sammy just replies, "How sexy is he?" Interesting.
What?
I don't know. That is like how why is one man asking another man how sexy is he? Like, I understand that Sammy Guevara.
And then he starts pointing the ribs, their abs out. Oh, look at these abs. Look at your abs. Yeah.
I understand
She's
that.
hot. We're hot.
I get that. Sammy and Ty Mello, who now I just realized just changed the fucking last name, are now married, and their gimmick is they are the everyday live sex celebration.
All day, every day. Oh, God.
TNT World Championship. Wardlow taking on a man with no personality whatsoever. Toni Nese. And Wardlow gets...
I mean,
yes,
Toni Nese has personality. I remember back in the Cruiserweight the Cruiserweight Classic and of course on 205. Like, he had tons of charisma, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it never really ever, I guess he doesn't come up with any ideas, so nobody else does.
Yeah, but there's a difference. Yeah. There's a difference between charisma and personality. Charisma is how you show yourself off on camera. Personality is how you need to present yourself.
He used to do both, man. He used to have both.
I saw different.
I have this many abs, blah blah blah, all this shit. Like, he had a whole bunch of gimmicks and a whole bunch of charisma, and he used to get hype about shit. But I don't know. I guess they haven't really given him anything to get hype about. So it is what it is. I'll wait.
I mean, the only hype thing that he has right now is Mark Sterling and Josh fucking Woods.
Yo, Josh Woods is a beast, bro. I like Josh Woods.
But yeah,
okay.
This is war. Yes, the old thing is back. I hated that new theme that he had. It was horrible.
The metal one?
That one was terrible. I didn't like that one. This one was better. This one is way better. The big pop from the crowd. Toni Nese with the jobber entrance because he doesn't get any entrance. Because why does he need an entrance?
Speaking of songs, did you peep? They were playing like the regular Dynamite song. He's like, "Yo, where's my music?" And then they started playing. When Wardlow was coming out, when he was coming through the tunnel.
Also, notice how throughout the entire show, in the crowd, you see a sign that says the Elite, and it has like a bite mark on it at the end of the corner.
That shit was funny.
I'm like, yo, McGruff took a bite out of crime with that sign.
He's still out here, man, being Hannibal Lecter.
Oh
some
my
fava
God.
beans.
Oh my God. But yeah, you know, basically what happens is two men are just two big sweaty men, except one is short and one is tall. You know, they stare at each other, not menacingly, because Wardlow looks at this shit like, are you serious? Are you joking me right now? He does the fusion lariat, like, fusion! Fucking lariat onto fucking Toni Nese.
That's what we're calling it.
Don't expect this match to fucking be this long. He picks him up. It's time for the Powerbomb Symphony. He hits him with at least 3 powerbombs, and it's over.
You want to talk about cannibalism? This match was cannibalism.
This match was carnivorous. Fuck that
He
shit.
fucking destroyed him.
This was not cannibalistic. This was carnivorous. After the match, he dragged Sterling into the ring, about to powerbomb his ass. That's when Josh Brooks comes out, saves both him and Toni Nese. Wardlow grabs the mic, and he says this: Wardlow is the TNT champion, and it's time for me to remind everyone in the locker room, in this business, and the fans that stuck by me that since day one, this is Wardlow's world. Party time, excellent.
That was good.
This
was cool. This shit was gangster.
At first, he kept saying in the promo that like he was overshadowed, he was being overlooked, that the TNT title meant nothing. I think this. Go ahead, keep continuing.
Nah, I was just gonna say that like he basically came out here and told them like, "Yo, I'm of importance. Y'all motherfuckers may be getting blinded by all this shit going on, but at the end of the day, y'all motherfuckers gotta remember, I'm a fucking killer. I'm out here to destroy. I'm one of the best motherfuckers in this shit right now. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I may be young, but I'm gonna probably be world champion very, very soon. So get it. Oh my god. It just hit me.
What?
That's gonna be an insane match. MJF as world champion and Wardlow wins it off of him. That's gonna be crazy. Because I know that's what they're gonna do. They have to. That's the right way. That's the best story to tell right there.
That's why I'm telling you. Think of the future. Think of the future going forward when MJF wins the belt in Queens. Yeah. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It could probably be at the next All Out next year. They want to save it for that. So it can make it seem like a 50-50 thing where like, oh, MJF might lose here and they might give it to Wardlow, or they might just keep it on MJF.
They could keep it for Full Gear and do it that way.
We just gotta see how it plays out. You gotta think of the theory that I said. It's most likely the first rivalry. It's gonna be Darby versus MJF going into Full Gear. I see that happening.
I see I see a few things in my head that could pop. That could be possibilities. So I'm just keeping my mental options open.
All right, so we got a Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin hype video going into their tournament match at Rampage Friday. Mm-hmm. Allin says he doesn't respect Sammy anymore. Well, they've done a lot of things to each other. They've killed themselves. They've killed each other. They've done crazy shit in the ring. But the one thing that they haven't done is win the world title. And Darby says, and he's even going to leave. Well, basically he says, like, you better leave your jazz guys in the back because I'm going to leave Sting in the back. And basically he asked Sammy to do the same going into their match at Rampage. So,
man, you know damn well. We're not going to talk about that. Go ahead.
We're not going to talk about that indeed. Well,
yeah, for too long.
It is time for the first round of the AEW Vacant Championship Tournament. The American Dragon music hits for He Is Walking Down the Aisle. He is going, and so is Hangman, because we are about to have Hangman Adam Page versus Bryan Danielson 3.
Woo!
Their first encounter, it ended in a draw for the AEW World Championship. Their second encounter ended with Hangman getting the win here. Let's see how this match took place. Mm-hmm. Both men make their way into the ring with massive ovations, and Page eyes the title. As he gets into the ring. Regal gives his love to the commentary team, including Taz. Including his love of the masked boy Excalibur, because he says some "Hey yo!" something with roast pellets. Both men are staring at each other mildly menacingly.
Mildly.
And Page extends his hand. Danielson doesn't accept the handshake and is pacing like a rabid dog in rabies. Stalemate shoulder block. into a test of strength. Bryan rolls out and starts to work on the arm of Paige. A series of back and forth counters before they back into a corner, and Bryan with a double slap onto Paige's chest. Back to more mat work and technical wrestling, and Paige with a huge thunderous chop onto Bryan Danielson. They trade chops, but Bryan takes him down with a surfboard, stomps his legs. More chops and kicks by Bryan, and Paige gets a few more of his own. Bryan with yes kicks into the corner. I should just call them American Dragon kicks. Goes up top, but Hangman levels him and knocks him outside. Paige's chest is already fucking bloodshot red at this point.
I was gonna say you could also call it you're gonna get your fucking head kicked in.
Well, yeah, he doesn't get his head kicked in just fucking yet, though.
I know, but you're gonna get your fucking head kicked in.
While Hangman's chest is like already turning red at this point, Bryan with a hammerlock and drives Paige into the post. We go into picture-in-picture or commercial break. Back from the break, we see Danielson with huge knees to Paige against the guardrail, and now is in total control with a stomp to Hangman's arm and a penalty kick onto his spine. Chops back and forth. Bryan moonsaults, reversal into the corner. Bryan off the ropes into a fallaway slam by Hangman and a beautiful kip up. Big dive from Hangman. Both men weary and beaten already. Hangman goes for the Deadeye into a pin counter, a drop toe hold into the counter by Bryan Danielson with multiple flying kicks. Bryan with a Hurricanrana and a knockout kick for a close 2 count. Bryan with the yes kicks again, including a 6-shot to Hangman's head. Bryan goes up top looking for a diving headbutt and gets crotched. Hangman beats Bryan, then hits an insane moonsault slam for a 2 count. Oh my heavens, JR says. Paige to the apron, looking for a buckshot lariat, but Bryan rolls over for the opposite corner. We go to commercial break again. Back from commercial, both men nose to nose start hitting each other with a series of massive chops. Then Bryan with multiple uppercuts into a German, countered by Paige. Paige with a disgusting fucking powerbomb. 1, 2, he got him. No. This is awesome. The crowd chants. Paige sets Bryan up into the turnbuckle, but Bryan sneaks out and puts Paige into a tree of woe. Hits a series of kicks and a hesitation drop kick. Both men up on the top now. Avalanche suplex counter into a huge lariat for a 2 count to be countered into a lapel lock by Bryan Danielson. Paige center into the ring. Paige with a slingshot countered over to the ropes, but Danielson sinks the cat double underhook into a lapel lock, but Paige rolls through. Both men on their knees, beaten and battered. Danielson brushes off with a chop, and now a series of rolling elbows. Danielson went for the Boost Cycle knee, but Deadeye 1, 2, he got him. No. Boost Cycle knee onto Hangman, rolls out of the ring. Much like Bryan did earlier, tope from Bryan is blocked onto the apron. Powerbomb and moonsault combo by Paige. Buckshot countered into the O'Connor roll. 1, 2, the match is over. Danielson advances to face off against Jericho in a rematch next week in Albany.
Banger.
Ramble on 6.
This match was a banger. I'm not very happy with our boy over here, Hangman Page, right now, being that he was part of the situation technically, and he's because he didn't throw hands, he came out unscathed, but his words were a part of the situation. So, I wasn't too happy with the man, but they went out there and had a banging little match, you know what I'm saying, and Bryan Danielson, golly, man. I'd love to see that motherfucker be AEW champion too. Like, he's another dude, man, who's incredible. I feel like they picked a lot of good people for this tournament. And Hangman Adam Page, despite, the situations, you know what I'm saying, he's still, one of the best wrestlers in the in the entire company. So I'm gonna be all right with that, you know what I'm saying? I just, I'm still a little mad at you, bro. We're gonna be cool in a little bit. It'll be all right, because you didn't do too much. But I'm still gonna look at you like, all right, You know you're part of the problem, right? It's all good. I'm being salty. TJ will be barking at me right now. You can't be salty about this shit.
Yeah, no, I begin at you right now. So like, you cannot be this salty, especially for this fucking match, bro.
It was a good match. I liked it. I fucked with it.
You know, at the end of the day, you know, we're gonna get a rematch between these two because now they're even. Now they're officially even. They got the draw. Hangman has a win. Danielson has a win now. Now we have to get full gear. Full gear. Danielson versus Hangman. They're 1-1. We need to figure this out. And I have the best way to make this match even better. 2 out of 3 falls.
I thought you were gonna say Tedez.
No, I'm not Bruce Pritchard in NXT. What do you think? I'm trying to show Nikita Lyons off for the fucking world?
Oh no, I was thinking more of Well, anyways, go ahead.
So we get a hype video from Jungle Boy. He says he's going to take years off of Christian's life. And Luchasaurus, I carried you for 3 years, and people say you were a joke, and maybe they were right. You can move on from your past, but sometimes you have to destroy it. So I'm guessing this is the storyline going forward because, like I said, this is not over between Jungle Boy and the man that has been working us over since he debuted in AEW. I thought we were going to get Tom Cole because I was literally on your side with this. I was on your fucking side with this. I kind of wanted Tom Cole, but I was 100% going with the original theory that I went with here. And I told TJ this. I think I told you this also. This was a ruse the entire time from Christian Cage and Luchasaurus for Luchasaurus to go back to Jungle Boy and make it feel like, oh, hey, we're best friends again. But then the suspension came in because you touched Pat Buck.
I'm just tell you like this. I feel like it's one too many swerves.
It could be one too many swerves, but
I feel like it's one too many swerves. I'm out of it now. Like I'm not into it anymore.
But
it's literally because you're doing too much. It's like you can't have him. First, you can't have him swerve, right? Then be like, "Oh, I'm a bad guy," right? Then out of nowhere, now he's like, "Well, technically, I was still a good guy." Ha ha ha. And then all of a sudden, oh, I'm a bad guy again. No, what the fuck, man?
Listen to me though. Listen to me.
One too many swerves, bro. I got out of it. Like I'm not into it anymore.
This is one of the there's been a lot of swerves in AEW that's been going on within like the past week going forward.
No, I'm talking about with him. Period.
I know, but listen, this is one of these swerves that makes absolute sense because Luchasaurus. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy is on a hunt for both Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. The main chase. Christian Cage is like a world heavyweight title people are trying to chase. The main chase right now is Christian Cage. The roadblock is Luchasaurus. Full gear. Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus is the roadblock in order for Jungle Boy to actually get the match that he was supposed to have with Christian Cage, not that 20-second match that we had in All Out. That 20-second match was a story going forward because Christian's injury. You have to put that into perspective. Also, Christian's injury also comes into play. That's why he couldn't do anything in the match at All Out. You need to give the man time to heal. Let him cut his promos.
I'd give the man time to heal, but I'd give Jungle Boy an entirely different person to deal with. I wouldn't turn Luchasaurus. I feel like that diminishes he's in my eyes, he's fucking Big Show right now. He's straight up Big Show right now. But
also Christian needs a heater.
Like I'm over it. I'm like, no, you turned too many times. Now I don't fucking murder. I don't believe you.
But look, my nigga, I understand. I understand your perspective, but hear me out. How many heaters has Christian had since he's been in professional wrestling? Edge, Tomko. Christian is always gonna need a heater because what is the definition of Christian?
But you
The
somebody
defini-
else, bro.
the
You got
definition-
140 people in this company who
Okay,
ain't
but-
getting to see TV.
I understand that. But here's the thing: you need a story that makes sense here, and this makes the most sense. You got
Not
a
to
guy
me.
that's chasing after a chicken shit heel. Christian has always been the chicken shit heel
That's
throughout
fine.
his entire wrestling career.
That's fine, but you don't do it by turning the motherfucker back and forth and back and forth. If that was the case, then don't turn him to begin with, or turn him to. It gets complicated to a point where I'm like, I don't even like this shit anymore. Like I don't want to watch this part anymore. Like I fucked this up to me. The story means nothing to me right now, and I'm just gonna wait till Christian comes back. Is that?
I get it.
Which is what I would have done regardless, and you could have put somebody else on TV to be his heater. To you know what I'm saying? Like no, not Luchasaurus fucking again, nigga. No.
Stokely Hathaway and his group. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna name this group. It just looks like Retribution at this point. Are out in the ring. Lee Moriarty looks like Frank Ocean in the Blonde album with the fucking green hair and shit. I'm like, I feature Wolfgang, kill them all.
He looks kind of like Kid Cudi to me for some weird reason.
I say Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean. I feel you.
You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna find.
No, I know. I've seen him with the colored hair. It's just I'm saying he gives me Kid Cudi vibes more, just because of the way his facial structure is.
So they're all. So Stokely Hathaway and the faction, they're all standing in the middle of the ring. A strange. While Stokely Hathaway is about to cut a promo, we got this random young boy from the LA dojo of New Japan telling Stokely Hathaway, "Hey, you guys aren't supposed to be here," and you know they're gonna cut their time off. Stokely Hathaway is like, and he says to give him respect. And
like if I was your father.
And then you know he grabs him by the shoulders, like, you better give the king of the ladder matches some respect. And then he just clocks him with the fucking mic right onto the fucking jaw.
Smokes him.
Gun Club beating up the young boy. They hold him up. And Morrissey just hits him with a big fucking boot. Yo, what's your thoughts on Morrissey being in AEW now?
I'm all right. I gotta wait till he actually does something that I care about. He hasn't done anything offensive yet.
I mean, he had a match.
You know what I'm saying? Huh?
He had a match in his debut.
It was a regular, you know, I'm a big guy thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not a real match. Like I have to get story involved, watch him, you know, have a few matches, like get some, you know, get a reason to care. So far, it's just been like, okay, he's a bad guy, he's a menacing big guy. That's it.
I think there's been enough talk.
Oh,
it's time for the main event. For the Ring of Honor Pure Championship under Pure Wrestling rules. Wheeler Yuta defending his pure title of the Blackpool Combat Club against Buffalo's very own, the Buffalo Kid, Daniel Garcia. And the way that this gave this man a stunning entrance, we finally got the musical performance of the homie, New York's very own Buffalo Kids, Griselda. West Side Gun, Fly Guy. Performing.
Now, will you finally shut the fuck up, Hazel?
Hold on.
Will you finally?
DR Birds from the WWCD Griselda album for Daniel Garcia.
Yes, sir. Hazel, finally. Are you happy? They gave Tevin his trios belts. They gave you your whole Fly Guy, Griselda,
they gave me Fly Guy,
West Side Gun, everything that you ever wanted with that man to be doing on AEW. Are you happy?
I'm happy. I gotta send TJ the picture of me and West Side Gun at HOG before I left New York.
Got you.
Because
Will
Yo,
you now
meeting
be
this
quiet
man-
about them not using
I will officially shut the fuck up
Yeah.
on AEW not using West Side Gun. All
By the
right, they
way,
finally used that man for a
know
musical
what-
performance,
yeah.
and I am 100% fucking fully satisfied. Like you said, TJ got his trios belts. I got my homie West Side Gun performing in AEW and accompanying this man down the aisle. Notice how in the front row where the hard cam section was,
Yeah.
there was a bunch of guys throughout the whole show. There was a bunch of guys in red hoodies. I had a feeling that something was about to happen, and the minute West Side Gun came out, like, it made fucking sense that they was gonna fucking do that.
Griselda. Yo, so this is what I was gonna tell you. It's crazy how the Griselda family legit took up like half of the fucking stadium, like half of the bottom floor. Let's just say,
Griselda,
half of the whole ringside was fucking Griselda, and I'm over here like, you see, Tony, you should have been doing this shit. But I guess they were waiting for a big show in Buffalo.
Like, I mean, I wouldn't even use that as an excuse. Like, they had a big show, that they were waiting for a big show in Buffalo. Like, my man's, this man has appeared on pay-per-views, on free TV. Yes. He was at Blood and Guts, and we talked about that shit. Yes. He was at ATL, and we talked about that shit. I was dissing Kevin Gates hard body, son.
Yeah, Kevin Gates is a nice guy, but from what I've heard, he's a bit strange.
My nigga, I was the one that said hashtag justice for fucking Fly Guy, son.
Yeah,
and
I got love for that man too.
Justice has been fucking served. Thank you, cocaine, allegedly, Tony Khan.
Jesus Christ. All right. Nah, so yeah, man, it was pretty dope. I mean, let's talk about the significance that it meant for Daniel Garcia, you know, a Buffalo kid to finally, you know, come out here. He got the big entrance. He got the big name star. He's got the whole Griselda on his back. His family and friends are probably out here in the crowd.
They in his hometown.
This was probably a huge night for that kid, man.
I'm gonna say one more joke. Yo, this nigga was snorting West Side's brick.
Oh my.
Yeah, Wheeler Yuta gets his regular ass entrance. We start the match off with the crowd screaming for Garcia as they start with a collar and elbow tie-up. Side headlock. Oh, let me remind you that we had Caprice Coleman and on commentary, and we had one of the Ring of Honor ring announcers.
Caprice is hilarious, bro.
He's hilarious, but he could call a Ring of Honor match.
Nah, legit. That's what I mean. Like, he's great, bro. Like, he violated the shit out of Chris Jericho. I think it was on Rampage where he's like, use your inside voice, sir. Jericho's just yelling in his ear for like fucking 10 seconds. He's just like,
oh yeah, I forgot because Jericho was on commentary. Again, another guy who was not supposed to be on this fucking show, but had to be here because of the cannibalism that took place after the fucking media scrum. Mm-hmm. All right, so we started with a collar and elbow tie-up, side headlock for Garcia, then knocks down Wheeler. Wheeler. But Yuta gets up with a single leg. Garcia gains back control and gets out. Let's go Buffalo. The crowd fucking chants for the hometown boy as the two men battle for position all around the ring. Locked in a collar and elbow tie up again. Then both stumble out of the ring and they hit hard outside the mat. Both men get back up on their feet, slide back into the ring, and they have a stare down. We go to commercial from there, and then we cut back. Back from the break, Yuta with a drop kick onto the corner and comes back with a flying elbow off the top. 1, 2, he got him. No. We learn Garcia is exhausted one of his rope breaks because again, this is pure rules. So there's certain rules that took place in this match. Mm-hmm. He exhausted one of his rope breaks because you have 3 of them. Now both with a series of massive chops, and Yuta hits a quick snap suplex. Yuta in control, but Garcia with a big slap and a German suplex of his own. Garcia on the offense, now leaning towards the 2 count. Sharpshooter attempt, but gets countered by Yuta into a cross German onto Garcia's head. Yuta maintains waist control and hits 3 Germans. Garcia with a waist lock, and German trifectas one of his own. Yuta again with another series of German suplex, but Garcia comes back up with two of his own. Both men in the corner as Garcia hits an avalanche German off the top rope. By God Almighty! We cut to commercial from there, which is practically the very last commercial that we have. And then we bring it home from here. Back from commercial, both men are down. The ref is up to 7 as both men are up to their knees. So many slaps back and forth on their feet now with more slaps. Garcia with a big knockdown strike as he asks for the 10 count. Yuta down for 8 but gets up as Garcia takes him down for a dragon tamer. Sharpshooter submission maneuver. Wheeler Yuta uses one of his rope breaks to end the hold. Wheeler Yuta with a big right hand. With a closed fist, issues a warning because if you hit someone with a closed fist, and this was a disqualification, but he got a warning there, and grabs Garcia by his ears. Garcia rolls through onto the Dragon Tamer. Dragon Tamer! He had to lock it in. Yuta counters with a crossface. Yuta with the seatbelt. 1, 2. He got him. No. Garcia again steps through with another Dragon Tamer. Yuta with a neck crane while Garcia has it locked in, but Yuta automatically taps in his hometown of Buffalo, New York. We have a new Ring of Honor Pure Champion. What a fucking battle indeed. After the match, though, Yuta and Garcia shake hands as the American Dragon makes his way down the aisle into the ring and yanks the Ring of Honor Pure title from the ref and puts it on Daniel Garcia's waist. Class act indeed. Raises his hand. Jericho comes from the commentary booth, walks down the aisle. Pissed.
By the way, I was gonna say it was a little kind of weird the way they did it, because Danielson came down. Wheeler Yuta was like about to give him the handshake or whatever, and then Danielson had already come down. I guess he was a little early, and then like he was about to do the gimmick, and then Yuta's like, "Wait, motherfucker!" And then they shake hands. And after they shake hands, then he grabs the title. He's like, "I'm tired of waiting." Which I guess he probably came down a little early, maybe.
I'm guessing. Yeah, that was probably it, or probably the one cases that has to be that he was probably putting his authority into the Blackpool Combat Club because technically him and Moxley are the co-leaders.
Yeah,
and shit.
They're the original.
So Garcia and Danielson shake hands, and it looks like they have a lot to discuss. Garcia celebrates in his hometown in the ring as Dynamite goes off the air. You hear Jericho say, "I'm going to kick his fucking head in." And then we fade to black.
Jericho came out there like he caught his wife cheating. Like, I can't believe it. Like, man, you already knew what it was. You said you was going to leave his ass alone, right? You left his ass alone. And then Bryan Danielson came down here and showed you this is how it's done. I'm his hero. I show him my respect. He beat my guy. I show him my respect. You feel me? And I love that shit. The only thing that I didn't like was that Danielson put the belt on crooked. You notice that shit?
I mean, I don't even give a fuck at this point.
No, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. It's just me as an aesthetic guy. I'm like, bro, just I wanted to fix it. I wanted to run in there and be like, wait. Okay, now go.
Nah, I get you indeed.
That
but
shit was like this.
That was Dynamite.
Yep.
Going week 1 of their New York tour.
Mm-hmm.
Next week is Albany. We got the tournament coming up. I really enjoyed the hell out of this show. I mean, I'm not gonna give Wardlow any sort of negativity, going into his match because hell, we got 3 title matches on this show, even though one basically ended abruptly. I was just a little bummed out, but I think honestly, like, I can't put my finger on what was the match of the night, whether it was the trios tag team championships or the Ring of Honor Pure Championship.
To me, it was the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, and I'll tell you why. It's the emotion behind it. It's the story that it told. It's a young man finally coming into his own. You know, that's how I felt about it. You know what I'm saying? Since Garcia has been here, he's always they always line him up with somebody because it's almost like he couldn't do it on his own. And finally showing I can more than do this shit on my own. I'm a fucking beast. And for him to get this big win in the hometown and all that, all the feels. They added all the feels to it. So I enjoyed this match, not just for the pure gorgeousness that this was of a painting, because this shit was art. That's how good this match was. It was art, but also because of the fact that they came up with a great story to go along with the match. So to me, this is the one.
I think I'm going to agree with you 100% on this. This main event was 100% guaranteed the match of the night. It stole the show. It had a story. And you didn't bring this up, but I'm going to bring this up. This was a rematch from Death Before Dishonor.
Yeah.
So I think it was. I mean, I don't know if they're going to get another rematch. Again, I'm putting theories out there that Full Gear, that maybe, just maybe, we might have our first Ring of Honor Championship take place at an AEW show. And it might just be, Daniel Garcia defending the title. Whether if it's like friendly competition against Wheeler Yuta just so he can have his rematch, or if it's someone from the Ring of Honor roster that Tony Khan has under contract right now.
By the way, Tevin will tell you, you know why Six likes this match? It was like 100 and something suplexes.
That too.
There was a lot of fighting for his Taz days.
There was a lot of fucking suplexes, but also there was a lot of moments where like those suplexes turned out to be pretty scary because they were landing on their necks.
Fucking Yuta landed on his coconut, B. I was like,
that too. That too, and it's just like
crazy bastards, bro.
I know y'all doing Ring of Honor shit, but please don't do any of the New Japan shit in this stuff. And I'll give Wheeler Yuta his credibility here. He actually went into the Best of Super Juniors with the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. So I give him props for that. He went in there with a championship proud, knowing that he was a pure wrestler. And he showed a lot of people in that Best of Super Juniors just how pure he is. And I think with him holding on to that Pure Championship, it just showed that, like, I think what he learned from Danielson and Regal probably made him a better pure wrestler, and he's probably gonna get it back soon. Not right now if he loses it, but he's gonna get it back.
You know what this show was? This show was very. It was like Tony Khan's way of saying, "Okay, how can I make them focus on our actual product and not the backstage drama?" And what he did was put on a great wrestling show. People going out there and having really good matches, and a few story building here and there, and a few good promos here and there. Jon Moxley murdered that promo. This was Tony Khan showing like, okay, let's get all the drama, push that to the side. I want y'all to look at this product that we're putting out here. And I hope you understand that the product is what we want you guys to follow. And this was, he's not going to shut up anybody because at the end of the day, it was a big drama with some big stars. Yeah. But at least you can put that aside for 2 hours and watch a really good wrestling show, which is what I did, and I enjoyed this show.
Same here. I 100% same here. When I saw this with Dave on his show, the Pro Wrestling Podcast, when I saw the announcement and after the announcement and I saw the entire show, I didn't say this to Dave, but I'm basically going to say this to you right now. This was a blessing in disguise. Yeah. This was basically a love letter. Like, hey, I'm sorry if you guys found out about the altercation that took place after the media scrum, We apologize for that. We handled it very well. We're being very professional about it. But we want to give you a very big sincerely and PS out of it. We're gonna give you 3 championship defenses. We're gonna have a trios team become champions by the end of the show, and we're gonna give you exciting wrestling and exciting title matches taking place moving forward. And not only that, we're gonna give a hometown boy his home field advantage and give him the moment that he rightfully deserves. Because let me tell you right now, if Daniel Garcia is not up there with the 4 pillars, he should be. He should be the one replacing Sammy Guevara, and it should be Daniel Garcia, Sammy Guevara, Darby. Daniel Garcia.
Sammy, so
yeah, Daniel Garcia, Darby Allin, Britt Baker, and who was another one that's on those fucking pillars right now?
MJF.
Yes, MJF. There we go. Thank you.
I'm here like,
high. Don't fucking judge me.
Golly, the biggest name. He's like, and I'm like, come on, spit it the fuck out.
I had a fucking brain fart for a minute. Okay, forgive me on that.
BattleBots right after this. TBS.
God damn.
Where Joe Styles at? Get right.
And yeah, that is our Dynamite recap. Sorry if we didn't have TJ here with us, but I can tell you honestly that I probably did a good job at least doing the journalism and doing all of my research that I can. Hopefully he'll let me know by Monday if I fucked up.
Nah, you did pretty decent. We talked a lot though, so he's probably gonna cut half of the shit we set out, but it's fine.
It was like, you fucking assholes, are you out of your fucking mind? What the hell's wrong with you, son?
You must be out your monkey ass mind, but it's fine.
That man's about to drop us on our stack of dimes we call next.
I see, but we keep going. I usually say TJ, but we're gonna say Hazel. Let these people out there know where else to find us.
You already know. I mean, I have my own version since I can't do TJ's version. Holy shit.
Go ahead. Your version.
You already know what's about to happen. YouTube.com/Ramblemania show, where you can stomp a mud hole on that subscribe button. Cheer for us by clicking that thumbs up. Every week we put out all the live fucking reactions for Raw, NXT, Impact, weekly recaps for AEW, live stream pay-per-views for all of you to watch and enjoy. For all of our social media, you can find us on Facebook.com/Ramblemania show, Twitter @Ramblemania, Instagram @Ramblemania show, Twitch.tv/Ramblemania show. You can find us on TikTok @Ramblemania show and Spotify video search Ramblemania show and/or Banter Club. And for all of our audio platforms, you can search Ramblemania show and/or Banter Club. Find us on Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Spreaker, Anchor, all of your audio platforms, because we put out all of the audio recaps for all of you to listen to and enjoy. And as for me personally, you can follow me on Instagram @iZombies, IZOMBIIESZ.
You can find me on Instagram @6, the letter X, letter L, that is @6XL. You can find me on Twitter @SIIXX. Ain't I great? That is SIIXX. You're already. Damn, I missed the TV.
Really? So I don't even get a Hazel eyes on me. I don't even get that. Like, damn.
Nah, it would be more of a Hollywood Hazel.
Why do I gotta be the racist?
Damn, son. No. Anyways,
for the Angels at 660.
Relax. We're gonna leave our BC aliens and our Ramble Maniacs out there with a little something we like to call a too sweet. Hit him with a Hazel.
You're a too fucking sweet.
And a what?
And a good fight. A goodbye. And a good night. I don't have the machine gun, so.
God damn it.